The Shakespeare Stealer behind the scenes.
Hi, my name is Ryan Margheim, and I am the production stage manager here at Children's Theater.
And my name is Ashley Kearns, and I am the assistant stage manager here at Children's Theater.
We just recently finished our production of The Shakespeare Stealer, which is based on the book of the same name by Gary Blackwood.
The Shakespeare Stealer is the story of an orphan named Widge who was taught a form of quick writing called charactery, and because he knew this form of writing, he was forced to go to the Globe Theater and copy down William Shakespeare's Hamlet as it was being performed. He gets caught by the company and ends up joining the company, the Lord Chamberlain's men, and along the way he learns a lot of lessons about the theater. He also learns lessons about friendship and family and loyalty, and ends up becoming a member of the company and finding his place there at the Globe Theater.
If you're interested in reading The Shakespeare Stealer by Gary Blackwood, you can find it located in the library here at Imaginon.
What made The Shakespeare Stealer so special?
I think Shakespeare Stealer is really exciting for us because it's big. It's a really big show, and there's a couple really big transitions that, I mean, for me, I think may be the largest transition I've ever done. And lots of cues, lots of props, lots of set pieces. You know, there's always something going on. There's always something exciting to look forward to in the course of the show.
It's also been a great team experience. I mean, this whole team of people, we've all had to really pull together to make this show happen. I mean, that happens on any production. That's why we do theater, because it's all about the community, it's all about the team experience. But especially on a show like this, when there's so much at stake, when there's so much scenery flying, when there's so many different things happening, you really do have to be able to trust each other, and you have to be able to know that the other person's going to be there for you and that you're going to be there for them. So it's been a really great team experience for me.
What do you do during a show?
My job as production stage manager during the run of a show is to maintain all of the actors and the crew and make sure that from opening night through the day that we close, the show remains the same. During the show, I sit in the booth, the lighting booth, which is actually behind the audience right back there. This is where I sit as the stage manager, and this is where our lighting operator, Barbara, sits. And right behind you over here is where Van, our sound engineer, sits. And during the show, I sit here and I have the script here in front of me with all of the cues in it. And I am on, I use this headset. Everybody backstage and in the booth is on these headsets so that I can communicate with them, and I tell them when to take all of their lighting and sound cues, and I communicate with Jeremy backstage so that he knows when to fly set pieces in and when to fly them out.
During the production, I am actually backstage on the stage, and I am in charge of the scenery moving on and off. I have a crew of 4 people along with these other people. I make sure that all the scenery gets out on stage and things end up where they need to be.
Why does Ashley always wear black clothes?
I am wearing black all the time because in theater the backstage crew wears black so that we kind of blend in with the surroundings. There are a lot of times that an audience member may happen to catch what's going on backstage, and if we're wearing black, then we tend to blend in with the surroundings easier. It's harder to see us.
What's backstage?
Follow us.
Backstage is essentially an extension of the stage. It's the areas of the stage that you cannot see from the audience. We're right over here, backstage right, which is if you're standing on the stage facing the audience, the side of the stage that is your left or right is either stage left or stage right. So all of our scenery is stored backstage, obviously, and is masked. And so we want to make sure during a production that things don't get confusing. There's a lot of scenery back here. We don't want anyone to run into something, to get hurt, or to break a piece of scenery. So we have different patterns taped out on the floor so that people follow the right path and don't bump into stuff. And that way we know exactly where things are supposed to live, and they're always in the right spot. We also have costume pieces. Different costume changes are going on at any given moment in the show. Masking may be moving. As you can tell, we also have speakers back here so that the sound can play through the backstage area. So there's a lot of different elements coming together in this one particular area.
How do you change scenery so fast?
This unit serves two purposes in the Shakespeare Stealer. It is the Dr. Bright wagon, and it is also the Simon Bass wagon. So it's two different locations. The wagon is anything that goes out on the stage that is a platform, and it's on wheels, so it's movable. So we have to dress this to make it look like two different locations. So we do a couple of different things. There's a table that we take on and off. There's also a curtain that we add onto it to make it the Simon Bass house. And another thing that we do is we put things on the shelves to make it look like two different places. Right now there are books on the shelf, but these books actually are not real books. They're just a face. They're actually quite lightweight. They're made out of foam, and hidden behind these books are the props for the Dr. Bright wagon. This is for a couple of different reasons. Number one, books are very heavy, and it would be really difficult to get books up here in the amount of time that we have. We only have about 3 minutes to get this changed over into the next location. So it would take a really long time to clear off all of these shelves and to put up books.
How do you make the scenery go up and down?
This is our fly system. This is how we can fly in scenery from above. And if you want to get a shot, you can see we have a very high ceiling in this space, and we have scenery hanging up there, along with some lighting equipment that can fly in and out.
So here we have a line set that is attached to the curtain that's going to come in on the stage. And as you can see that there are weights here on this line set, and the amount of weight that is right here on what we call the arbor is the same amount of weight as the curtain that is out on the stage, so they balance each other out. So what I'm going to do is pull, this is our safety and our lock, and we're going to unlock it and then pull it in. So I'm going to pull in. And as I pull this in, there is a piece of tape on the line, and that is our spike tape to show us where it should stop. So when this spike tape hits right above here, then that means that the curtain is in place.
Are the swords really sharp?
All of the swords have been dulled down. I mean, the edges, you're not going to cut your finger by rubbing on it, and this is not a pointy edge, it's like a square edge. But I mean, at the pace that the actors fight with them and use them, they are still dangerous. And so every day when the actors come in, every actor who actually fights with a sword reports up to the rehearsal room, and we do a fight call in which they run through every fight. They do it 3 times. So they do it twice at half speed, and then they do it once at full speed, just to get it into their heads and remember their choreography, because everything is planned out. Every step in a fight has been choreographed so that it's as safe as possible. And this actually is a sword that we created for this show. As you can see, it looks like I'm pushing the sword into her stomach, and yet I'm not. The sword is actually on a spring and goes in and out. Pete Smeel, our properties master, actually created this for us, and what he used as the base for this was actually a golf club. So you can kind of see the handle here is a golf club, which he's wrapped with leather and moleskin, and then he just cut the golf club in half, turned it upside down on itself, and stuck the other end in and put a spring in, and now it's a retractable sword.
How did you make the blood?
We do use fake blood in the Shakespeare Stealer. And what the blood is, it's called stage blood, and basically it's a mixture of corn syrup and food coloring. We also mix woolite into it, which is laundry detergent, in order to make it clean easier, because we do the show every day. It gets on Widge's shirt every day, and so it cleans out a whole lot easier with the woolite in it. It also makes it easier to clean the stage floor. And what Pete did was he took bubble wrap, big giant size bubble wrap, and cut out individual pieces of bubble wrap, and he took a syringe and put it inside the bubble wrap and poured the stage blood into it with the syringe and then taped over it. So you have this nice little packet of blood. And when Widge goes out on the stage for the scene where he gets stabbed, he has this in his hand, and when Nick stabs at him, he holds it close to his body and squeezes it, and it bursts, making it look like he got stabbed.
Is there one scene that was your favorite?
One of our favorite moments in the show is what we call the globe transition.
At this point in the play, Widge, our young hero, has been taken from his home in Berwick and has been brought to London. And he's about to be sent into the Globe Theatre to watch that day's performance of Hamlet and copy it down in his system of charactery. During this scene, we're all very, very busy. I'm in the lighting booth calling the lighting, sound, and fly cues, and Ashley and the crew are on stage moving the set. Light cue 38, go. Light cue 38.3, go. Stand by light cue 40. Light cue 40. Go.
During this moment, there is a lot that is happening on and off of the stage. On the stage, the crew and the actors are moving several tons of scenery. The crew is dressed up in costume to look like actors so that they blend in on the stage. Also backstage, we are prepping the next scene. There are 5 crew members on this show, and at this moment we are preparing 4 costume quick changes that will all happen at the exact same time. We are also shifting over a dozen props. These are props that are either exiting the stage, or these are props that are getting prepped to come out onto the stage. At the same time, we are also preparing the 2-story unit to come out.
Flight number 8, go. Light cue 41, go. Stand by light cue 42. Light cue 42, go. Stand by light cue 43 and fly number 9. Light cue 43. Go. Fly number 9, go. Thank you for joining us on a backstage tour of the Shakespeare Stealer, and we hope to see you soon.